going, bug-sized friend? Don't you want to know what it's like to fight more of the deadliest spiders in the world?
Oh no, not again.
Well, let's find out. Challenger 1. Tarantulas. The Goliath bird-eating spider is the largest species of tarantula, and it spans up to 12 inches long. Now you, yes you watching this video, open your palm and look at it. This spider is significantly bigger than what you're looking at. Just our fuzzy little friend. Although they're not too venomous to humans, their massive 1.5-inch fangs can easily break human skin. But on the rare chance that you're able to put the tarantula on the defensive, the spider is equipped with a special weapon called urticating hairs. When it's fleeing, it uses its hind legs to quickly flick off jagged bristles that cloud the air behind it. The bristles are a severe irritant and can get stuck in your skin and eyes, preventing you from pursuing. They're typically slow and stealthy hunters, suddenly lunging at prey when they get close enough. And despite their size, they're on a liquid-only diet, preying on frogs, rodents, lizards, snakes, and of course, birds sometimes. They have special teeth called cheliceraal teeth that help with gripping and chowing down prey for optimal nutrient suckability. Tarantula species are also some of the most colorful spiders, and since they're also quite docile around people, they make pretty good pets. While we're talking about giant cuddly spiders, there's another important spider I should cover, the giant Huntsman spider. It has legs that also span to about 12 inches. They hunt by chasing prey down using their speed. They're pretty harmless to humans though, they just want to be friends. You know, I'm actually terrified of spiders. I remember this one time during school camp. I was kinda muddy after a mud run, so I go into this crusty cabin to shower, and in a crack in the door frame, at eye level, is the biggest Huntsman spider I have ever seen in my life. It was one of these guys, and he was as big as my head, and he was looking at me and wiggling his little mouth bits. I was naked, vulnerable. And I was like, nope. So I wet my hair in the sink to make it look like I showered, and then spent the rest of the day covered in mud. So I kinda feel bad for putting you through all this. Not really. But they asked for it, so blame them. Challenger 2. Jumping spiders. Jumping spiders are the most horrifying, bloodthirsty creatures in existence. Most species span up to a terrifying 0.6 inches. Their two large middle eyes have exceptionally sharp vision, able to accurately judge depth. And as soon as they've locked onto you, they're ready to pounce. Spiders have an open circulatory system, so their blood kinda just floats around, unlike humans. And by squishing muscles in their bodies, they can increase blood pressure in their legs, which launches them into the air, allowing them to jump over 20 times their own body length. But what if they miss their target? Okay, I'm kidding, she's not dead. Before jumping, they make sure to secure a silk dragline behind them. Kinda like a bungee cord. It allows them to take big risks because they can always reel themselves back. But once they've got you, they liquefy you with venom and digestive enzymes, and then slap up that nutrient soup. If you're ever around one, take a close look because sometimes they'll actually track you with their cute little beady eyes. Challenger 3. Orb Weavers. Orb Weavers are most commonly known for their iconic wheel-shaped webs, and the largest one is the giant golden orb weaver, spanning up to 6 inches long. They get their name from the golden silk they produce, and the webs they make act like giant nets for flying insects that are dumb enough to fall into it. The spider sits right in the middle of the web, and as soon as prey lands, it uses its keen vibration sensors to locate it, and immediately runs over to deliver a venomous bite. But that's only one species, and there's so many more to talk about. So, Orb Weaver Spider Speed Round. The long-horned orb weaver has crazy-looking long horns, possibly because it makes it really hard for predators to swallow it. This is a decoy-building cyclosa spider, right here. The rest is a decoy built using debris, to trick predators into picking the wrong thing instead. There's an orb weaver called the alien butt spider. Yeah, that's its butt, not its face. The triangle weaving spider turns its web into a slingshot, launching extra silk at trap prey to ensnare them even tighter. Blech. The mirror spider has shiny reflective patches on its abdomen. It can shrink and expand these patches to camouflage by breaking up its outline. And finally, there's the zombie spider, who is just a normal little cave orb weaver that got infected by a fungus. And now the fungus mind controls it to do its bidding. There's even more, but that's a long list. So, next challenger. Challenger 4. Assassin Spiders. Assassin spiders are quite tiny, only growing to about the size of a grain of rice. But under the hood, they look like pelicans. Which is why they're also called pelican spiders. But they're mostly known as assassin spiders because
they assassinate other spiders.
They can track down spiders by their webs, carefully tiptoeing over any trigger lines to avoid alerting them, allowing them to get within striking range. Then, using their long curved jaws and their extendo neck, they attack from a distance. This range makes them very difficult to counter. Once they've skewered you, they hoist you into the air, inject venom, and eat you, all while staying safely out of reach. Challenger 5. Dock spiders. Dock spiders get their name because they're usually found on docks. And all around docks too. They can span up to 4 inches long, and their special ability is that they can run on water. They can do this thanks to surface tension, which makes the surface act like an elastic sheet if you're light enough. Their weight is also spread evenly across 8 legs, each covered in water-repelling hairs that keep them from sinking.
Hey, I have hairy legs. Can I do that?
Nope, you're too fat. Dock spiders don't use webs to hunt. Instead, they kinda use the water surface as a web. They sit on the surface and listen for vibrations. And as soon as they detect movement, they bolt. They're big enough to catch small fish too, and despite how scary they look, they're not dangerous to humans, and just want to keep you company while you're fishing. Challenger 6. Crab spiders. Crab spiders get their name from their crab shape and the fact that they usually walk sideways. How is this not just a crab then? They're quite small, growing up to 1 inch long, and they mainly prey on pollinators, so they love hunting near flowers. So you're attracted to the sweet scent of nectar. The species you're facing is the goldenrod crab spider. But where is it? It has the special ability to change colors between yellow and white to camouflage with the flowers, but the process can take several days. These changes are triggered based on visual cues, which scientists found out when they blacked out the spider's eyes and it couldn't change color anymore. They have a pretty low success rate at hunting though, because they're usually trying to catch flying prey with their bare spider hands. But with no wings, you're an easy meal. There are so many unique crab spider species and abilities. There are bird poop crab spiders that both resemble and smell like bird poo. They use this ability to lure in prey that like stinky doo-doo. And there's also a species called the ant-mimicking crab spider, which resembles an ant by sticking its front 2 legs up as antennae to stealthily infiltrate ant nests and eat them. Man, ants have it rough out here with all these imposters. Challenger 7. Funnel web spiders. This is the infamous Sydney funnel web, one of the deadliest spiders in the world, and in my opinion, one of the scariest looking too. What? They discovered a new species that's deadlier than this guy? Here, hold this. Introducing the Newcastle Big Boy. Spanning up to 4 inches long, this guy has even longer fangs and larger venom glands than the Sydney funnel web. Well, isn't that great news for you? Most spiders try to run away when you bother them. But funnel webs stand their ground by rearing up and displaying their fangs, which are strong enough to punch right through your fingernail. Using venom is quite expensive for spiders, and most use it sparingly, But when a funnel web bites, it's been known to empty its entire venom tank into you. Sometimes they even stay latched on, biting you repeatedly just to make sure. In the worst case, even a non-bug-sized human could die from a bite within 3 hours. But an anti-venom was created in 1981, and ever since there have been no recorded deaths. This one's unrecorded. Interestingly, their venom is not very effective against other mammals like rabbits. Or even dogs.
Aww, is the little guy tickling me again?
Challenger 8. Daddy Longlegs. Look at these wiggly boys. The daddy longlegs, also known as the cellar spider, is a very common spider you can find in your home. Like you've probably got one watching you right now. They can span up to 4 inches long, but it's like 99% legs and 1% little bean body. They hunt by invading other spider webs and stealing prey, or sometimes they just steal the spider instead. They're super good at this because they're able to keep their distance with their long legs while wrapping their victims in silk. Like, how do you even hit that? And even if you manage to get one of its legs, it's able to quickly detach it and get away. They also have this really funny mechanic where they start crazily vibrating in their webs when disturbed. This could be to make them appear bigger and more threatening, or to make their position more confusing to predators. Challenger 9. Ant-slaying spiders. The Australian ant-slaying spider has one of the coolest hunting abilities of all spiders. When you face off against him, he doesn't look too tough, but then the next second he's gone! And he's cartwheeling right over you, and in midair, he attaches a piece of silk to your back, landing gracefully behind you. And then he continues to twirl around you, wrapping you in silk before you can do anything. And what's even crazier is that in the wild, all of this happens vertically, on the side of a tree. Once the spider's done, it's pretty much a wrap for you. He bites you and sucks out that nutrient soup. Challenger 10. Brown Recluses. The brown recluse is most famous for its flesh-melting, necrotic venom. But despite being one of the 4 deadly spider horsemen of the apocalypse, it's probably the most misunderstood spider. They get their name because they literally don't want to get in your way. The spider's first instinct is to run away. When cornered, they use these quick horizontal movements to avoid being touched. Or sometimes they even play dead. They really just want to be left alone. If you keep bothering them after all that, well, you were asking for it. The venom of the brown recluse contains a special toxin called sphingomyelinase D, which damages the membranes of cells it comes in contact with, killing the tissue in a process called necrosis. And it looks like he got you pretty good there. Challenger 11. Camel Spiders. Camel spiders span up to 6 inches long, and these guys look absolutely terrifying. Like, look at these choppers. And remember that a lot of you wanted this as a dog-sized pet. But despite their name, technically, camel spiders aren't even spiders. They're actually They aren't spiders because they don't produce venom or spin webs. But they are arachnids of the order Solifugi. And they have 8 legs, so I'm counting them anyways. They can run at speeds of up to 10 miles per hour, and once they reach you, they use their giant chompers to tear and grind you apart. Their creepy jaw mechanism is super specialized for this. They have gotten a bad rap for chasing humans in real life though. I can see why that's concerning, but they're not actually trying to attack you. Apparently, they're just trying to get into the shade you create, because deserts are hot, dude. As you move away from the scary spider, your shadow moves, so they keep chasing you. So you should just stop and be friends with him. Challenger 12. Six-eyed sand spiders. The six-eyed sand spider has 6 eyes.
Bet you didn't see that coming.
They can span up to 4 inches long, and they have quite a unique hunting strategy. They dig a small pocket in the ground and bury themselves in the sand to camouflage. It's actually quite cute. Well, if you ignore the fact that it's waiting to ambush you. Once buried, the spider sits in its little sand bunker and waits. It's super well adapted to desert survival with a very slow metabolism, allowing it to stay motionless for weeks without food or water. So when you eventually pass close to the spider, it explodes out and grabs you,
Injecting necrotic venom before eating you.
Fortunately, these spiders are extremely shy, so they rarely bite non-bug-sized humans. But toxicology studies have shown that it potentially has the strongest venom of any spider known to us, like on the same tier as the Brazilian wandering spider and the funnel web. And that's it! For real this time. Well, until my next collection is ready, that is.
If you like the video, subscribe, like, do a backflip, kiss a spider,
And
see ya next time!